Hello, welcome back to Let's Play Jane's Fleet Command as we continue on with the reference materials. So today, we will be going through the surface ship classes for the People's Republic of China. Starting with the Sovereignty class guided missile destroyer, publication Jane's fighting ships, section destroyers, country, China and Russia. Title Sovereignty, Tsarevich or Tsarya class, type 956 or 956A guided missile destroyer. Excuse me. Specifications: displacement 7,625 tons full load, length 511.8 feet, beam 56.8 feet, draught 21.3 feet, speed 32 knots, range 2,400 miles at 32 knots, 6,500 miles at 20 knots, 14,000 miles at 14 knots. Complement 296, of which 25 are officers plus 60 spare. Excuse me. Main machinery: 4 boilers, 2 turbines, producing 102,000 horsepower or 75 megawatts, 2 shafts, and a bow thruster. Armament and electronics: missiles, surface-to-surface missiles, 8 SSN-22 Sunburn or 3M-80 Zuber and 2 quad launchers, with active passive radar homing to 60 nautical miles at Mach 2.5, reaching Mach 4.5 on the attack run, and sea skimming. From Bespolkini onwards, the launchers are longer and fire a modified missile with a range of 87 nautical miles. SAM-2 SAN-7 Gadfly or Oregon command semi-active radar and IR homing to 13.5 nautical miles at Mach 3, 44 missiles, multiple channels of fire. Guns: 4 130mm 70 caliber guns and 2 twin mountings. They are the AK-130 and can elevate to 85 degrees and fired 35 to 45 rounds per minute to 60 nautical miles. 4 30mm 65 caliber AK-630 mountings with 6 barrels per mounting, 85 degree elevation, firing at 3,000 rounds per minute to 2 kilometers. Torpedoes: 4 21-inch 533mm in 2 twin tubes, combination of 53 centimeter torpedoes. Anti-submarine mortars: 2 RBU 1006 barreled, range 1,000 meters, 120 rockets carried, as well as torpedo countermeasures. Mines: mine rails for up to 40 mines, countermeasures, decoys, 8 PK-10 and 2 PK-2 chaff launchers, ESM, 4 football, some variations including 2 bell shroud and 2 bell squat, 6 half-cup laser warning receivers from Boyevoy onwards. Radars: air search, top steer in the first 2, plate steer in third and fourth ships, and top plate in the remainder. 3D air search, D and E band. Surface search: 3 palm frond, operating in the I band. Fire control: 6 front dome, operating in the F band for SAN-7 and SAN-17. Kite screech, operating in the H, I, and K bands for the 130mm guns, and 2 base tilts, operating in the H and I bands for the 30mm guns. IFF, salt pot A and B, high pole A and B, and longhead, TACAN 2 light bulb. Sonars: bullhorn, platina, and whale tongue, hull mounted active search and attack. Helicopters: 1 Ka-25 Hormone B or Ka-27 Helix in Russian service, or 2 Harbin Zai 9A Haitan in Chinese service. If you're running about all the weird names, those are the NATO reporting names for the electronics and sensor systems. So kind of like how fish bed, how they call, the MiG-21 the fish bed. 2 are in active Chinese service, the X-Vozny and the X-Alexander Nevsky. 17 are active in Russia, with the Sovereignty, Otilchny, Osmotritnelny, the Suprekny, Boyevoy, Stoikoi, Orkeliny, Bernie, the Gremiashi, the Bistry, the Rastronovny, Bezboyaneny, the Zuderniny, Beskoiny, Nastrochevi, Bestrahiny, and Sobritsiny. I butchered all of those, I'm sure. So here we can see a stock photo of one, and here is the 3D model. Alright, so next up we have the Luda-1 guided missile destroyer. Luda-1 DDG, publication Jane's fighting ships, section destroyers, country, China, People's Republic. Excuse me. Title: Luda 1 Type 051 class guided missile destroyer. Specifications: displacement 3,670 tons full load for Luda 1 and 2. 3,730 tons full load Luda 3. Length 433.1 feet. Beam 42 feet. Draught 15.1 feet. 15.3 feet on Luda 3. Speed 32 knots. Range 2,970 miles at 18 knots. Complement 280, of which 45 are officers. Main machinery: 2 boilers, 2 turbines producing 72,000 horsepower, or 53 megawatts, powering 2 shafts. Armament and electronics: missiles, surface missiles, 6 HY-2 or C-201, CSS C-3A Seersucker, and 2 triple launchers with active radar or IR homing the 51 nautical miles at 0.9 Mach. SAM's Crowtail octuple launcher, Kaifeng, line of sight guidance to 7 nautical miles at 2.4 Mach. Guns: 4 5.1 inch or 130mm 58 caliber guns in 2 twin mountings. Elevation to 85 degrees, firing at 17 rounds per minute to 16 nautical miles. 8 57mm 70 caliber guns in 4 twin mounts with 85 degree elevation, firing at 120 rounds per minute to 12 kilometers or 6.5 nautical miles. These guns are fitted in some of the class. The others have 37mm. 8 37mm 63 caliber guns in 4 twin mountings, elevating to 85 degrees, firing at 180 rounds per minute to 4.6 nautical miles, and 8 25mm 60 caliber guns in 4 twin mountings, elevating to 85 degrees, firing at 270 rounds per minute to 1.6 nautical miles in the anti-aircraft role. Torpedoes: 6 324mm B515 in 2 triple tubes, firing the AE-244S torpedo, anti-submarine, active passive homing to 3.8 nautical miles at 33 knots. Anti-submarine mortars: 2 FQF 2512 fixed tube launchers with 120 rockets and a range of 1,200 meters. Depth charges: 2 or 4 B&B projectors in 2 or 4 racks. Mines: 38. Countermeasures: decoys, chaff launchers, ESM jug pair or RW-23-1 radar warning. Radars: air search, knife rest or cross slot, A-band or bean sticks or P-sticks in the EF band, or right screen on main mast in some. 3D air search, G-band. Surface search: eye shield, E-band or Thompson CSF Sea Tiger in the E and F band. Square tie, not in all, operating in the I-band. Navigation: fin curve or recall, Deca 1290, operating in the I-band. Fire control: Wasp head, also known as Walk 1 or Type 343 Sun Visor B, operating in the G and H band, and 2 Rice lamp or 2 Type 347G, operating in the I band. IFF high pole sonars: Pegasus 2M and Tamir 2 hull-mounted active search and attack. Helicopters: 2 Harbin Z9A Type 2, which is a licensed version of the Dauphine helicopter. And there are 13 active: the Xi'an, the Yinchuan, the Xining, the Kaifeng, the Nanjing, the Haifei, the Chongqing, the Zunyi, the Changsha, Nanning, Nanjing, Guilin, and the Zhanjiang. Here we can see a stock photo of one. And here is the 3D model. Alright, next up we have the Luhu class guided missile destroyer. Publication: Jane's Fighting Ships Section Destroyers. Country: People's Republic of China. Title: Luhu Type 52 class guided missile destroyer. Specifications: displacement 4,200 tons full load. Length 468.2 feet. Beam 49.5 feet. Draught 16.7 feet. Speed 31 knots. Range 5,000 miles at 15 knots. Complement 230, of which 40 are officers. Main machinery: combined diesel or gas. 2 GE LM2500 gas turbines producing 55,000 horsepower or 41 megawatts sustained. 2 MTU-12B 1163 TB83 diesels producing 8,840 horsepower or 6.5 megawatts sustained. 2 shafts and CP props. Armament and electronics: missiles, SSM, 8 YJ-1 Eagle Strike, C-801 or CSS N4 Sardine missiles with active radar homing 22 nautical miles, or 66 nautical miles for the C-802 CSS N8 Saccade at Mach 0.9 Sea Skimmer. SAM-1 Crowtail octuple launcher, Line of sight guidance to 7 nautical miles at Mach 2.4. Guns, two 3.9-inch 100mm 56 caliber guns in twin mountings with 85-degree elevation, firing at 18 rounds per minute to 12 nautical miles. 8 37mm 63 caliber guns in 4 twin mountings with 85 degrees of elevation, firing 180 rounds per minute to 4.6 nautical miles in the anti-aircraft role. Torpedoes, 6 324mm B515 launchers in 2 triple tubes, firing the A244S anti-submarine torpedo with active passive homing to 3.8 nautical miles at 33 knots. ASW mortars, 2 FQF 2500 12-tube fixed launchers, range 1200 meters, 120 rockets. Countermeasures, decoys, 2 SRBOC Mark 36 6-barrel chaff launchers, 2 China 26-barrel chaff launchers. China 26-barrel chaff launchers. ESM ECM BM 8610 intercept and jammer, radars, air search, Haiying or God-Eye G-band air and surface search, ESR 3004 Sea Tiger operating in the ENF band, surface search China ESR 1 I-band navigation Decca 1290 I-band fire control type 347G I-band for SSM and 100 nautical miles and 100 millimeter wavelength, I presume. The 100 millimeter guns. Okay. 2 EFR 1 Rice Lamp I-band for the 37 millimeter guns, and Castor 2 I&J band for the Crow-Tail. Sonars, hull mounted active search and attack medium frequency VDS, active attack medium frequency helicopters, 2 Harbin Z9A Delphine helicopters, active 2 the Harbin and the Qingdao. Here we can see a photo of one in color even. And here is the 3D model. Alright, next up, the Jingwei Guided Missile Frigate. Jingwei 1 Frigate. Publication Chains Fighting Ships Section Frigates. Country, People's Republic of China. Title, Jingu 1 Type 053 Class Guided Missile Frigate. Excuse me. Specifications: displacement 1,702 tons full load, length 338.5 feet, beam 35.4 feet, draught 10.2 feet, speed 26 knots, range 4,000 miles at 15 knots, 2,700 miles at 18 knots. Complement 200, of which 30 are officers. Main machinery 2 Type 12E 390V diesels, producing 14,400 horsepower or 10.6 megawatts sustain, powering 2 shafts. Armament and electronics, missiles, SSM, 4 HY-2 C201 or CSSC-3 Seersucker missiles in 2 twin launchers with active radar IR homing to 43.2 nautical miles at Mach 0.9. Guns, 2 or 4 China 3.9-inch 100mm 56 caliber in 2 single or 2 twin mounts with 85 degrees elevation, firing 18 rounds per minute to 22 kilometers or 12 nautical miles. 12 China 37mm 63 caliber guns in 6 twin mountings or 4 twin mountings in some, with 85 degrees elevation, firing 180 rounds per minute to 8.5 kilometers or 4.6 nautical miles in the anti-aircraft role. Anti-submarine mortars, 2 RBU 1200 5-tubed fixed launchers, 4 in some, range 1,200 meters, depth charges, 2 BMB-2 projectors, 2 racks, mines can carry up to 60. Countermeasures, decoys, 2 RBOC Mark 33 6-barrel chaff launchers, or 2 China 26-barrel launchers. ESM jug pair, watchdog, radar warning, radars, air surface search, MX902 eye shield, type 354, possible E-band operation. Surface search and fire control is square tie, type 352, operating in the I-band. Navigation, Don 2 or fin curve or recall Deca, operating in the I-band. Fire control, Rice Lamp in some, operating in the I&J band, or Sun Visor in some, operating in the I-band. IFF, High Pole A, Yard Rake or Square Head. Sonars, Echo Type 5, hull-mounted active search and attack. 25 are active, the Chengdi, the Shaoxing, the Nantong, the Wuxi, the Huagin, the Zhenjiang, the Xiamen, the Zhujiang, the Nanping, the Jian, the Changji, the Ningpo, the Jinhua, Dandong, Linfen, Maoming, Yibin, Shaoguan, Anshan, Zhaotong, Jishu, Zigong, Handing, Dogon, and Shanto. I probably butchered that list as well. Here we can see the stock photo they have for it and the 3D model. Next up, we have I think I skipped one. I did the Luhu, yeah. That's the one we just did. So, Jingwei class guided missile frigate. Jingwei guided missile frigate, publication James Fighting Ship, section frigate, country People's Republic of China, title Jingwei class guided missile frigate, specifications, displacement 2,250 tons, full load, length 366.5 feet, beam 39.7 feet, draught 15.7 feet, speed 25 knots, range 4,000 miles at 18 knots, complement 170, main machinery 2 Type 12E 390 diesels producing 14,400 horsepower or 10.6 megawatts sustained in 2 shafts. Armament and electronics, missiles SSM 6 YJ-1 Eagle Strike C-801 or CSS-N4 Sardine missiles and 2 triple launchers with active radar homing to 22 nautical miles at Mach 0.9. Sea Skimmer. Extended range to 66 nautical miles when C-802 is fitted. SAM 1 HQ-61 sextuple launcher. PL-9 RF-61 or CSA-N2 command guidance. Semi-active radar homing to 5.5 nautical miles at Mach 3, similar to Sea Sparrow. Guns, 2 3.9-inch or 100mm 56 caliber guns and twin mountings with 85-degree elevation, firing at 18 rounds per minute to 12 nautical miles. 8 37mm 63 caliber guns and 4 twin mountings, elevating to 85 degrees, firing 180 rounds per minute to 4.6 nautical miles in the anti-aircraft role. ASW mortars, 2 RBU 1200 5-tubed fixed launchers, range 1,200 meters. Countermeasures, decoys, 2 SRBOC Mark 36 6-barreled shaft launchers, 2 China 26-barreled shaft launchers. ESM, RWD-8 intercept, ECM NJ81-3 jammer. Radars, air, surface search, knife rest, G-band, fire control, sun visor, I-band, fog lamp, I and J-band for SAM. Bright lamp operating in the I and J band, navigation, recall DECA recall DECA 1290 operating in the I band. Sonars, Echo Type 5 hull mounted active search and attack. Helicopters, Harbin Z9A, Dauphine. Active 4, the Anqing, the Huayin, the Huabai, and Tongling. Here we can see the stock photo in color, no less. And here is the 3D model. Alright, the Hongfeng PCFG. Publication Jane's Fighting Ships, Section Patrol Forces, Country People's Republic of China, Title Hongfeng, Type 21, OSA Type 1. Specifications, displacement 205 tons full load, length 110.2 feet, beam 24.9 feet, draught 8.9 feet. Speed 35 knots, range 800 miles at 30 knots, complement 28. Main machinery 3 Type M 503A diesels producing 8,025 horsepower, 7.94 megawatts sustained, 3 shafts. Armament and electronics, missiles SSM 4 HY2 or CSS-N3 Seersucker and 2 twin launchers with active radar IR homing at 43.2 nautical miles at Mach 0.9. Guns, 4 25mm 60 caliber guns and 2 twin mountings firing 270 rounds per minute to 1.6 nautical miles in the anti-aircraft role. Radar, surface search, square tie, I-band, range 40 nautical miles or limits of radar horizon. Fire control, round ball or rice lamp, YJ-1 craft, operating in the H and I-band. IFF, 2 square head, high pull active 30 with hull numbers ranging from 3103, 3113, 3114, 3115, 3128 through 3131, 5100, 7100 through 7120. Here we can see a stock photo. And here is the 3D model. Alright, the Hoku PCFG. Publication Jane's Fighting Ships Section Patrol Forces Country People's Republic of China. Title Haegu or Hoku Type O-24 China Fast Attack Craft Missile PCFG. Specifications: displacement 79.2 tons full load, length 88.6 feet, beam 20.7 feet, draught 4.3 feet, speed 37.5 knots, range 400 miles to 30 knots, complement 17 of which 2 are officers. Main machinery for Type L12B 180 diesels, producing 4,800 horsepower or 3.53 megawatts, powering 4 shafts. Excuse me. Oh. Armament and electronics, missiles, SSM-2, SSN-2C sticks, active radar or IR homing to 46 nautical miles at Mach 0.9. And guns. Oh, there is more. Okay. 2 25mm 60 caliber guns in a twin mounting, firing 270 rounds per minute to 1.6 nautical miles in the anti-aircraft role. Radar, surface search, square tie, I-band, range 40 nautical miles or limits of radar horizon, IFF high pole A, active 20, no names or hull numbers. Here we can see a stock photo. And here we can see the 3D model. The Huchuan PHT, publication Jane's Fighting Ships Section Patrol Forces Country People's Republic of China. Title Huchuan Class Type 25 Type 26 Fast Attack Craft Torpedo PHT. Specifications: displacement 45.8 tons full load, length 71.5 feet, beam 20.7 feet, draught 11.8 feet, hull borne, speed 50 knots, foil borne, range 500 miles at 30 knots. Complement 16, main machinery 3 Type M50 diesels, producing 3,300 horsepower or 2.42 megawatts sustained, powering 3 shafts. Armament and electronics, guns 4 China 14.5mm guns and 2 twin mountings with 85-degree elevation, firing 600 rounds per minute to 3.8 nautical miles. Torpedoes, 2 21-inch 533mm tubes, radar, surface search, skinhead or a China Type 753 operating in the I-band. Active 31, no names or hull numbers. Here we can see a stock photo. This appears to be foil borne. And here is the 3D model. And you can clearly see the foil there that it uses to get kind of a little bit airborne so there's less water resistance and it can go faster. Yukon Landing Ship Tank, publication Jane's Fighting Ships Section Amphibious Forces Country People's Republic of China. Title Yukon Class Type 72 LST. Specifications: displacement 4,170 tons full load, length 393.6 feet, beam 50 feet, draught 9.5 feet, speed 18 knots, range 3,000 miles at 14 knots, complement 109. Main machinery 2 Type 12E 390 diesels, producing 14,400 horsepower or 10.6 megawatts sustained, powering 2 shafts. Military left 200 troops, 10 tanks, 2 LCVPs, total of 500 tons. Armament and electronics, guns 8 57mm 50 caliber guns and 4 twin mountings. Some carry 4 57mm guns and 2 twin mountings, and 4 37mm guns and 2 twin mountings. 85-degree elevation, 120 rounds per minute to 12 kilometers or 6.5 nautical miles. 4 25mm 60 caliber guns and 2 twin mountings. 85-degree elevation, 270 rounds per minute to 1.6 nautical miles. Radars, navigation, 2 China Type 753 I-band, 7 are active. Hull numbers 927 to 933 sequential. Here is a stock photo. And here is the 3D model. All right, now we have the Xingyang Hong AGI. Publication Jane's Fighting Ships, Section Survey and Research Ships. Country People's Republic of China. Title Zhang Yang Hong class, AGOR or AGI. Specifications: displacement 1,150 tons full load, length 219.8 feet, beam 32.8 feet, draught 13.1 feet, speed 15 knots, main machinery 2 diesels, 2 shafts. Armament and electronics: guns, 2 37mm 63 caliber guns in a twin mounting, 8 14.5mm 93 caliber guns in 2 quad mountings. Radar, navigation, fin curve, operating the I-band, active 11, hull numbers 1 through 4 sequential, 6, 8, 10, 12 through 15 sequential. Here we can see the stock photo. And here is the 3D model. The T-43 MSO, Publication James Fighting Ships, Section Mine Warfare Forces, Country China, People's Republic, Title T-43 Class, Type 010, Minesweepers, Ocean, MSO. Specifications: displacement 590 tons full load, length 196.8 feet, beam 27.6 feet, draught 6.9 feet, speed 14 knots, range 3,000 miles at 10 knots, complement 70, of which 10 are officers. Main machinery: 2 PCR Colomina Type 98 diesels producing 2,000 horsepower, 1.47 megawatts, powering 2 shafts. Armament and electronics: guns, 2 or 4 37mm 63 caliber guns and 1 or 2 twin mountings. 3 of the class have a 65mm 52 caliber forward instead of 1 twin 37mm 63 caliber. Dual purpose, 180 rounds per minute to 4.6 nautical miles. 4 25mm 60 caliber guns and 2 twin mountings with 85 degrees elevation, firing at 270 rounds per minute to 1.6 nautical miles. 4 14.5mm 93 caliber guns and 2 twin mountings, elevating to 85 degrees and firing 600 rounds per minute to 3.8 nautical miles. Some also carry 1 85mm 52 caliber Mark 90K, firing 18 rounds per minute to 8 nautical miles. Depth charges: 2 BMB-2 projectors with 20 depth charges. Mines can carry 12 to 16. Countermeasures: MCMB, MPT-1 Paravanes, and MPT-3 mechanical sweep, acoustic and magnetic gear. Radar, surface search, fin curve or Type 756 I-band, IFF, high pole or yard rake. Sonars to Meter 2 hull mounted active search and attack. 12 active, hull numbers 364 through 366 sequential, 377 through 379 sequential, and 386 through 389 sequential, 396 and 397. Here we can see the stock photo. And here is the 3D model. And finally, we have the Fucheng AOR, Publication Jane's Fighting Ships, Section Auxiliaries, Country People's Republic, China, Title Fucheng Class Replenishment Ship AOR. Specifications: displacement 21,750 tons full load, length 552 feet, beam 71.5 feet, draught 30.8 feet, speed 18 knots, range 18,000 miles at 14 knots, complement 130, of which 24 are officers. Main machinery: 1 Sulzer 8RL B66 diesel, producing 15,000 horsepower or 11 megawatts sustained, powering 1 shaft. Cargo capacity is 10,550 tons of fuel, 1,000 tons diesel, 200 tons feed water, 200 tons drinking water, 4 small cranes. Armament and electronics: guns, 8 37mm guns and 4 twin mountings, fitted 4 but not with. Radars, navigation, fin curve or recall deck at 1290, operating the I-band. Helicopters, platform for 1 medium helicopter, active 2, the Haikang and the Dongyun. Here we can see a stock photo. And here is the 3D model. All right. And I think that will do us for today. So with that, thank you all for watching and stay tuned for next time and stay safe out there. And we'll see you then.